Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Code Escuela. Suppose you have an existing Blazor application and you want to add security to restrict access to your pages and views. ASP.NET Identity Core is one way of easily integrating security in your existing Blazor applications. Before we continue, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to get updates from our latest videos. Let's get started. Here we have an existing quick grid demo project. So this one is from another episode that I did wherein we've demonstrated the quick grid Blazor component. So we will be using this project as base for our identity uh, functionality. Okay. And so first thing that we'll do is that we will add or scaffold our identity. Okay, so to do that, we can right click on our project and then select add and then select new scaffolded item. Okay, and from here there are several options, and the one that we're interested in is this identity, and then we will select Blazor identity and then we will click add. Okay, so once that's done, this next window will show, and then we will be setting up our necessary items or classes. For this one, we will be adding a new DB context. Okay, so it will be named quick grid demo context. Or let's add another additional word here, identity, so that we know that's an identity context. Okay, and then we will be using SQLite for this one. So since we already have an existing database, which is this Northwind DB SQLite database, and then after that, let's add a new user class by clicking on this plus button, and then let's just accept this suggested default name. Okay, that will be quick grid demo user. Let's click add here and then click add again, and then in a few moments uh, the scaffolder will generate the necessary pages and additional code that it needs to use so that you can get your identity ASP.NET Core identity set up within your Blazor application. So after a few moments there, you will see that uh, the program.cs file has been opened up with some new additional lines of code here. So yeah, let's just quickly run this first before we take a look at what has been generated for this one. Okay, and so and just see that what we can do with the application once it's been generated by the scaffolder. Okay, now we have an existing error, and it complains of about connection string that does not exist. Okay, and so let's just stop this first, and yeah, let's inspect a bit uh, quickly here what have been changed for specifically for this program.cs file. Now you might have noticed that from the error that you saw, that now it complains with this connection string. So it takes a new connection string data that will be used to connect to your SQLite database. And then apart from that, you will also see that there are additional lines here that have been added, and it would be these ones. So now these are the set of codes that the scaffolder has added for you to easily integrate identity in your application. Now we have several classes that have been injected that will be needed by the identity itself, so that you can, like for example, log in, log out, create or register as a new user. And so yeah, aside from that, when you look at our solution explorer, there's a big noticeable additional change here. Are several files that have been generated also for you. So if you look at this account folder here, this is a new one, and then we will check to see that there are several files that have been added here that will be needed by identity itself, and then additional pages here that allows you to uh, make use of identity functions like logging in, registering as a user, logging out, changing your uh, username, password, and all of those typical user management stuff. Okay, it even allows you to reset your password. Okay, along with this shared folder, right? So yeah, we won't be inspecting each one of these. If you have the chance, then you can take a look at those files that have been generated and yeah, see how identity itself works on this end for Blazor. But yeah, let's move on. So what we need to do now is fix the connection string error. So in this case, uh, what we need to do is modify our connection string. Okay, so let's focus here. So we will need to match this up in our connection string configuration, which is located under app settings.json. So if we open this up, so you can see the identity scaffolder has added a new entry here of a connection strings, which indicates the connection string for your database. Okay, so we will need to match up this name with the name that we have here. Okay, so that it can pull the correct settings from our app settings file. Okay, so let's just remove this connection bit here. Okay, and then aside from that, in our app settings.json file, let's modify our data source. So this will point to what location your existing database is. And for this one, since we already have our existing northwind.db SQLite file, we will have to point our connection string here. So that would mean that we'll need to modify this as dot slash slash data, the folder, and then the name of the database, northwind.db. Okay, and there we miss another slash here, and then yeah, that should fix your connection string to your SQLite database. Okay, now that we have that, we will add some additional tweaks to the generated files from the scaffolder. Okay, so first thing we'll need to do is go and open our app.razor file. Okay, and here we will have to add a missing code that was left off from where I mean from the by the scaffolder. So if we quickly run this one, you will see what I mean for this one. So okay, now we have okay, so we will need to add another missing piece here, and that would be the db context. Okay, so that means that services dot db context, okay, of type quick grid demo identity context. Okay, and that should fix the issue. Now let's try running again, and now this time your application hopefully would load. So if you're familiar already of gone through the different episode of the quick grid demo, then you will see that we have several demonstrations of the quick grid here being used. And so if you also notice that we have a new item on our menu on the left, so we have this register and login. So if you click register, you will quickly see that it's flickering. So we will need to have to tweak some additional code in on the generated identity files. Okay, so let's stop this for now and we'll fix that one. Okay, so after that, let's open our app.razor file, and then let's add the necessary code that we need for it to function correctly. So I'll just gonna copy ahead. So this one is the code that is coming off from the one wherein if you create a new Blazor project and then you've selected authentication individual account, and then this code is coming off from there. but coming from the scaffolding itself on an existing Blazor app, I think it has missed this one, so we'll need to add that one. So we'll just paste it here, and then if you can see that it dynamically sets the render mode for our application. And then after that, we'll need to replace the setting of render mode here into our dynamic one, page render mode, for both head outlet and then the routes. Okay, now that we've done that, let's just save this file. Next thing we'll do is open our imports.razor page. Okay, let's head on to our account, pages, and then imports.razor. This one, we also need to add a new line of code here. Okay, let's open our copy here, and then this one. So we'll add an attribute indicating exclude from interactive routing. Okay, so now this would become a static only rendering of the identity pages. Okay, so now that we have that, I think we have completed tweaking our identity. So let's just run this one and see that we should be able to see the register page correctly without the flickering. And let's head to register, and as you can see, the register page is already being displayed without the flickering issue. Also with the login, same thing, so there's no flickering anymore. Okay, so now that that's done, let's move on to generating our migrations in relation to the identity changes that we did. Okay, so before we can actually save data, user data for identity, we need to create migrations for that, which means that we'll need to run some commands to generate the migration files that identity will use to generate the necessary tables for our project. Okay, so let's inspect first or quickly our existing database here. So we have our Northwind DB. Let's open this up on DB browser for SQLite, and you can see that it has the typical tables that we've been using from the quick read demo on our other episode. Okay, and so now let's open up our package manager console here. Okay, let's just clear this one up, and then the first command that you will have to execute is add migration. Add migration, and then let's name this as create identity schema, and then let's specify the context that we will use, since we have two contexts here, the one with the existing application first, the application DB context, and then the other one is for identity. What we're interested here is the identity context one. Okay, so in this case it would be the quick grid demo identity context. So let's specify that one, quick grid demo identity context, and then let's set the output directory to the same directory as the data folder here. So let's set data slash migration, so it will be contained within the data and then migrations folder. Okay, so let's just hit enter, and by the way, make sure that the default project is selected as the quick grid demo. Okay, I will add a link to this project in the description so that you know where to pull that repo, and then let's hit enter. And now we have some error here that it seems that we have also missed to set our provider for our DB context. So here, let's just add options. Okay, and then let's set the options that use SQLite, and then let's pass in the connection string here. This is the one from here, from above here, wherein we've took the connection string from our app settings. Okay, and then we should be good to go. Let's try this again. Okay, it will build the application and see and detect whatever is being specified as the context, and from there it will generate the necessary migrations based off of the identity models. Okay, and then after that, let's inspect the generated migration file. So if we look at here under data, you now have a new folder named migrations. And then under that, you have two files that have been generated. So the first one that came up here is the actual migration file. So this one uh, stores all the unnecessary create table or creation of tables and whatever is necessary to generate the identity tables based off from their identity models. Okay, so we have several here. And so the other one would be this file that has this model snapshot. So this one is also auto generated, that also indicates the mappings between uh, the tables and the model of identity. Okay, so if you have some time, then you can inspect and check how these files are uh, generated. Okay, and so once that we've done the generation of the migration, next thing we'll do is to actually run this against our existing database. Okay, so let's head back to our package manager console. Okay, then we'll need to run again a new command for that. So let's just close this for a bit here, our Northwind DB from DB browser, just to make sure that it doesn't like lock up or anything during the updating of the database. So the command that we'll use is update dash database. Okay, again setting the context, which is the quick grid demo identity context, and then just hit enter. Okay, as you can see, it's going through the migrations and applying the migrations each along the way. Okay, which in turn would actually generate the necessary tables needed by identity. And so how do we know that it's been correctly generated? Then we can inspect again our database. So let's head back to DB browser and let's just open our Northwind DB here. Okay, and then you will notice that we have new tables have appeared in our database, and all of the identity tables are or starts with the ASP.NET and then the name of a specific table that identity uses. So you have here ASP.NET users, roles, and claims. Okay, now once we've done this, we should be ready to uh, actually use identity for our application. Now we can try logging in or registering as a user. So let's run this one. Okay, and let's head to register, and then let's try registering. Okay, let's try that one. I'll just add my own password here, confirm the password, and hit register. Okay, so in the background the user gets created, and then from here you have your register confirmation. Now this one isn't advisable really, because in production you will have to send out an email that says to the user that you have to confirm your account to actually continue and logging in on the application. But since uh, this is just for demonstration purposes, so we can just click here to confirm our account without actually opening it up as an email. Okay, but again, part of the configuration or flexibility of ASP.NET Core Identity is that you can set that one up. Okay, so let's just click this one. Okay, now it says that thank you for confirming your email, which means that now we can log into our application. Okay, so let's click on login. Let's just log into the account that we just recently created, and then let's click login. Okay, as you can see on the left side, there's this new set of navigation items, which is the one that says our email, and then the one is log out, which means that uh, identity is now capable of uh, restricting certain areas or views or pages in your application. So if you click our email here, it will show you some data about your account. Okay, so your profile, your email, you can even change your password. You can even set two-factor authentication. But yeah, I will be discussing that on a separate episode. And then you can also have an option to download your personal data. Okay, now all of these things are very configurable within ASP.NET Identity. Okay, so if you want to dig deeper on this, you can always visit the identity documentation on Microsoft, and then that will give you several uh, ways to configure your identity. Okay, now if you log out, then it would log you out of your application. Okay, now how do we actually try and restrict certain areas of our application? Now let's try and restrict this suppliers page. So for in this case, like if you have the suppliers page, you can only see it if you are logged in. So to do that, let's just stop this for a moment here, and let's open that page. Head to our components and then suppliers. Okay, let's open this one up, and then what you can do really is just adding an attribute of authorize. Okay, let's just pull in the namespace for this ASP.NET Core Authorization. Then once you do that, this page will now be restricted if you are not logged in on the application. So let's quickly run this one and try logging in. Okay, let's go log in. uh, if you have logged in, if you have not logged in and then you navigate to suppliers, then what would happen is that you will be redirected back to the login page. See, so let's go back home and then let's navigate back to suppliers, and then what you will see is the login page. So let's try logging in. Okay, and then that will return you back to the suppliers page, which was restricted. Okay, now that's one way of adding restrictions to your uh, routable Blazor components. Okay, so there are several options that you can do. I mean, you can have the flexibility of limiting your or restrict your uh, pages by either a specific role or a specific claim. It's up to you. The configurations are really up to you on how you want to implement depending on your use cases. Okay, now this is one way of restricting access to your uh, pages. Another way is restricting or limiting access to your specific section of your view. Okay, so what does that mean? So let's say you have your counter, and then you want to show something that, or you want to show a content that is only visible if or available if the user is logged in. Okay, so let's quickly do that one. Let's open our counter.razor page, and then let's just add. Now, one way of restricting content or section of content is the authorized view component. Whatever is inside of the authorized view would have to be uh, logged in. Okay, so let's just simply add a text. This is a restricted content. Okay, save this one and refresh. Nothing. Okay, authorized view. Let's just stop this because sometimes the isn't correctly updating. Okay, let's rerun this again, and let's navigate back to counter page. So this is we're still logged in. I forgot. Okay, sorry about that. So basically we are logged in on the application. Now if we log out, you have noticed that that restricted content is not appearing anymore. It's not being shown. Now we try to log in again. Okay, let's log in, and then you open up counter and you will see that that restricted content is showing up. Okay, and you also have access to suppliers page. So that's one way of adding restrictions to sections of your application via the attribute and then the authorized view. Okay, so I think that completes our demo for ASP.NET Core Identity. And yeah, if you liked this episode, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to get updated with our latest video. And yeah, hope to see you soon and have a great day, everyone.